just to show you why Commissioner Baloyi was correct and IDAC was incorrect. 3434. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, my 3434 is very small.
No, that's fine. Do you see that it's a provisional report by the Public Service Commission?
I see that, Chair.
And it was investigating alleged irregular appointments within crime intelligence. August 2023?
I see that.
But do you see that it related to irregular appointments?
Correct.
In crime intelligence?
Correct.
The very issue which is the subject of Mr. Adams's complaint. And then go to 3445. Are you there?
I'm there.
So just cast your eyes on the finding in 7.1. Do you see that?
Correct.
Yes, and also in 9.1, the recommendation. Do you see that? So by the time Mr. Adams brings these things to IDAC, the Public Service Commission has already investigated them and made recommendations to, among others, the National Commissioner and the Minister. So even if IDAC was not aware of this investigation, what this shows you is that there are other bodies established in terms of the Constitution that are responsible for investigating issues such as irregular appointments within SAPS. It's not IDAC's mandate. Absent the crimes mentioned in Section 7 of the NPA Act, it is not IDAC's mandate to be investigating these issues because there are other bodies that are responsible for these investigations. So what this report, all of it shows you is that exactly what Commissioner Baloyi said last week, that the moment this came to IDAC's desk, IDAC should have said, but these are not our issues, let's refer them to bodies that are responsible for investigating these issues. And there would have been no need for that summons that we see on 3360 and the annexures that follow all the way up to 3363. Because all those issues about performance assessments, about deviation, appointment deviations, all of those issues, those are matters for the Public Service Commission, not for IDAC.
And with your leave, Commissioner Khumalo, if I may point out, at item 11 of the same report, this is a report of August 2023. So the employment of Khumalo in that position was resolved by the PSC already in August 2023. And almost 2 years later, IDAC wants to revive this issue, revives the issue, culminating eventually in his arrest in June 2025. Do you see the problem of crossing lines and not performing strictly in terms of your statutory mandate?
Yes, correct.
Maybe also for completeness, and it has a bearing on my earlier question about whether you met and discussed with a number of people, and I mentioned names, to mention for completeness that at paragraph 2.1, the PSC records that the complaint was lodged by Miss Mary DeHaas. You see that at page 3437. Just, I'm mentioning it for completeness.
Sorry, 3437.
Paragraph 2.1. It says the complaint was lodged on the 23rd of December 22 by Ms. Mary Dihas.
I see that, Commissioner.
Let's go back to 3445. Are you there?
I am there.
I'm going to ask you to do three things very quickly. Please read 7.1 into the record, and then read 9.1, and then read that date on 3446, the one that Advocate Silo was referring us to. So please read 7.1 into the record, 9.1, and then the date in paragraph 11 into the record.
Paragraph 7 deals with findings, and 7.1 reads as follows. Commissioner Khumalo, the process followed by SAPS during the appointment of Lieutenant General Khumalo to the post head of SAPS, CIU, is found to be regular. 9.1, under recommendations, despite the determination that Lieutenant General Khumalo's appointment to the post of head of SAPS, CIU, was regular, the Public Service Commission recommends that the minister should facilitate that, and I think, do I read 9.1.1 and 2? That? Only 9.1. Corrective measures be put in place to ensure sound record keeping, to sensitize officials regarding the importance of good record keeping.
Go to the next page, paragraph 11. Emphasis on the date of the report.
Signed on behalf of the PSC by Professor Makanya as the Commissioner on the 16th of August, 2023.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner.
Ms. Silo, is this part of the bundle of documents that you say you got from IDAC?
I confirm so, Commissioner.
Okay, so what it seems, Ms. Johnson, lastly, from me at least, is that your organization had this report of the PSC as you made the decision to investigate and to send that summons on purely HR matters. This report was already within IDAC because it comes from IDAC. You don't have to comment. It seems to be a fact. If these come from IDAC, then IDAC was sitting with this report as you were making investigation and making the decision to create charges about the appointment, issue. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Silo.
Thank you.
But do feel free to make a comment if you want to, Advocate.
Advocate Johnson?
It is irresponsible for us as IDAC, if the investigators had this, not to have brought it to my attention, and for us to have had then a proper adjudication of what did we get in, what has happened in the interim, and does this still find place? Because just this report, don't even worry about the mandate of IDAC, just such a conclusive report removes it from the realm of any kind of investigation.
Thank you.
If I may follow up on that, again, we go to our base document, our famous Section 27 affidavit. We don't have to go to it, I'll read into it. It's our paragraph 5.
Okay.
That one that suggested that the very appointment of General Khumalo to this position was either irregular, unlawful, or otherwise. That was Mr. Adams's. Now, we know that the Section 28 is dated the 3rd of April 2025.
Correct.
And subsequent to the issue of that Section 28, IDAC is then furnished with the full documents, the suite. And as Commissioner Khumalo points your attention to the PSC finding, is it safe to conclude that somewhere within IDAC lies a formal report under your signature indicating that any complaint or concerns raised by this Section 27 referral, particularly in paragraph 5 of the referral or relating to the appointment or the regularity of the appointment of General Khumalo, has been put to bed? Is there anywhere where IDAC has signed off and say, we will not be pursuing that matter any further? Whether or not you had the mandate, that's not the issue. But that it has been definitively responded to, and that subject is closed. Is there a document like that that lies within IDAC? Or is the investigation perhaps somehow continuing under some or other guise?
As I said earlier, Commissioners, where there are issues that have come to the fore as they have over the days, and when you look at this report as well, then the recommendation to the head of IDAC would be that all these matters, where they are still under investigation, would have to be set aside, because this is what it is.
Just remind us, the J50, the recent one that was suspended or put on hold, did it relate to the same issues?
Now
Did
you
it
catch me
relate to
off guard.
appointment issues?
It, because I haven't engaged them in a while, but I
No,
do
this
recall
is-
that this is
Sorry,
one of Madondo.
sorry, I
Sorry.
will allow you to respond fully. I want to say, you say you've not engaged with this in a while. This is quite recent, it was in the media, now.
Yes.
The arrest of, the intended arrest of
Yes.
General Khumalo, that's quite recent.
Yes.
So I don't quite understand you when you say you've not engaged with this in quite a while. Anyway, please respond to the question by Commissioner
No,
Khumalo.
the quite a while for me is relative. I haven't done it as of recent. But I do recall that that matter would have been about the vetting and appointment of General Madondo.
So it's about appointment issues, irregularity or otherwise of appointments of generals.
No, it's more the vetting and her moving to positions because of the vetting.
But
It was a vetting issue.
and those issues for the Public Service Commission to deal with.
And that matter is under review by a special panel. I said the ones that are not there, commissioners, that remain under investigation, those are the ones on which I will make those recommendations as I undertook. So it's those ones, unfortunately, once a court process starts and they've now been taken on review by the Office of the National Director with a special panel, I'm not in those ones, but Commissioner Baloy said to me, those are court matters. You got investigations, so go look at your investigations. She didn't say it in that harsh
I
way.
know I said it better than that.
Yes. But that was the gist. And I did undertake to do that, as I've undertaken to do with now quite a few of the other matters. That must happen.
I must say, Advocate Johnson, that I find it quite strange that you are as hesitant as you are with regard to the basis for the intended arrest. In your response to Commissioner Khumalo, you were quite hesitant. I would have thought, I mean, this was out there for all to see in the public domain, and there was a lot of noise around it. For you not to be sure and to say that you have not engaged with it in a while, and eventually when you do respond, you are as hesitant as you were, I find that very strange. Why is that so?
I'm not hesitant, but I'm trying not to.
You were hesitant.
Okay,
You were hesitant.
I take I'll take
You did
the
not, you did not just rattle the response off, which is what I would have
Okay.
expected.
It's, because I'm not vested with those matters, I become overly cautious about what I'm saying and don't want any negative implications. So my recollection has to be correct. That matter is still under review. And I did say that as well yesterday, lest I say something that may negatively influence the matter, not just for the state. There are people whose lives are involved, and those are, they're not yet accused. Those are suspects. And so I am cautious.
And I'm sure you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, because you're a very articulate person and you could speak far quicker than I can ever hope to. So that's why I noticed the hesitancy.
Thank you, Chair.
I must say, Advocate Johnson, I'm surprised that you are not aware of these things. My expectation would have been certainly after 6 July last year and allegations made against IDAC, that as head of IDAC, you would be more hands-on because the J50 we're talking about goes to the heart of the allegation made against IDAC a year ago. So I would have expected that the head of IDAC would say to her team, brief me on this matter so that I'm up to speed, so that if I need to account either to the ad hoc or to this commission, I'm fully appraised of what the situation is. So the fact that they are still doing things and you're not sure or you are not aware what is it that they are doing, it creates a difficulty because now even with the summonses, when you come here, you are unable to answer because all you can point to are the briefings, nothing in writing that was given to you. And it makes it difficult for us to then assess who is accountable for these decisions, who's accountable for this conduct, and if there are rogue elements within IDAC, who holds those rogue elements accountable if it's not the head of IDAC?
I understand, and I understand the shortcoming.
I mean, before July 6, nobody expected that there will be a commission,
Yes.
that there will be the ad hoc, and you would have to go there and answer and be referred to thousands of documents. But after July 6, it should have been obvious that on all these matters, I will be asked to go and explain and answer, and I need to be aware of what's going on so that I'm able to answer the questions that are posed.
I take your point.
Thank you, Advocate Johnson. Because we touched in passing on matter case number 543, that is the second matter. That, Commissioners, is at file 7, starts at page 2611. Just an observation to make.
Can we
And-
put
and-
away file 9?
File 9. No, I'm not making any promises, but
It must be a closer
it must
hand.
be close by. And just for the record, that this is the file, the docket. We said it's still under investigation, it's fairly sensitive, and it concerns I'll call them the aborted J50 warrants of arrest of General Skhumalo. The request should go to you, but I have noted that in this file, there is no charge sheet. That's what I note, just for the record. But what I'm more particularly interested in right now is page 2613. And this is an IDAC document. And that would be the affidavit that initiates the investigation and culminates in the prosecution, correct?
That would be correct.
Maybe whilst you're still looking at it, just to point out to you that this is one of the documents, both the preamble statement and the affidavit, in respect of which it was suggested to Colonel Padeachi that there seems to be something wrong with the signatures there. And that it looks like the signature that purports to be of Mr. Adams may not be his. The affidavit is commissioned by Mr. Perumal. I'm not asking you to comment, I'm just pointing out to you that this is what was put to Colonel Padeachi.
And on that score, the affidavit that triggered this investigation into General Madondo's security clearance is the same, it's from the same batch of affidavits commissioned by Mr. Perumal on the 6th of January. You know that?
Yes, in Cape Town, Pretoria.
So, just as a matter of interest, if that affidavit is invalid, as a lawyer, what impact does it have on anything? What impact would that fact have on anything, if at all? And I ask that because my reading of the original Section 27 does not single out General Madondo in the manner that this supplementary affidavit does. So, according to the Section 27, Mr. Adams did not suggest that General Madondo did not have a security clearance, unless I have overread this, and I may very well have skipped it. But I don't see it in the Section 27. I don't see it in the set of 4 supplementary statements commissioned by Investigator Rapesu in the presence of Mr. Perumal and Advocate Ramsamy. I find it instead in the affidavit commissioned by Mr. Perumal in Cape Town and Pretoria simultaneously, that the other 2, the validity of which the other 2 deny. And my interest is where that information comes from, that you should be investigating specifically General Madondo's security clearance. Because that was never part of the complaint.
So, Council, the question being that if this A1 of Adams is false, what do we make of the rest of the investigation?
Now, all I'm asking is what would be the consequences of such a finding from a legal point of view? On anything. You make your choice what it would impact.
If the statement is false, and because of the statement, you derive the evidence that is derived as a result of, then it taints that investigation. Unless there is other independent evidence that even if you didn't show anyone this A1 and you just approach them to say, are you aware that the transfer of Major General Madondo from KZN to CI, assisted by General Komalo and other generals, knowing that she failed to secure a top secret clearance? If you took just maybe that part, because that is what it relates to, and you are able to find persons who can independently give you that evidence, and it is objective evidence, that evidence can't be tainted. What is the direct evidence out of this? Because if I look, and because there is evidence to support the allegations.
So it's not affected by the principle of fruits of a poison tree notion?
And that is what I said. It depends how far this goes. What derived from it is fruit of the poison tree. Is it everything, or is there independent evidence that you would have been able to glean? If I could just use the example, Commissioner Kumalo, and then maybe it might either fall within the fruit of the poison tree, or girl, you got it all wrong. And please don't tell the girl she got it all wrong. I'm trying to cross-reference. The question is very clear. The averment is very clear. Allegations related to the questionable lateral transfer of Major General Madondo from KZN to CI head office by Lieutenant General Kumalo, who was assisted by other senior generals to do so, knowing that she failed to secure a top secret clearance for many years. I find something, for me, that's independent. And for me, the independent is, now I don't know what these pages are marked. I think it should say 28-11-11, if you have something like that in the same file.
What page?
28,
Yes.
11-11 in the same file.
And what about that page?
It refers to an affidavit. And here you're going to guide me. This is the one that we were not talking about names publicly, am I right?
Yes.
So there is a statement from a very senior official.
Yes.
And what the senior official is saying, this person, Madondo, resorted under my district, was laterally transferred to CI after a request from General Komalo. The lateral transfer was approved by the National Commissioner. What's important is, I was not aware, nor did anyone inform me, that Madondo did not have a top secret clearance and was also refused a top secret clearance while she held the rank of brigadier, including the time when I, that is this deponent, chaired a promotional panel which resulted in her appointment as a major general in the post in that district. Similarly, I was not aware that Madondo did not have a top secret clearance when she was recommended for the lateral transfer to the division CI. I was also unaware that her application for a top secret clearance was refused.
And
Assume all of that
Yes.
is correct. Assume all of that is correct. What does it have to do with IDAC? Is it IDAC's mandate to investigate lateral transfers within subs and whether they were regularly done or not?
It was the issue of the vetting.
But does IDAC investigate whether somebody's vetting is correct or not? Is that IDAC's mandate?
No, and this is
may
one of...
I piggyback on that? We've taken the liberty of projecting Section 7. Please indicate accepting the correctness of the affidavit that you have just, part of which you have read into the record. Where do we fit in that Section 7, 1 capital A?
it would trip me up, as Commissioner Baloy already did, in relating, you have the top and relating to, not and. And so where ordinarily one looked at her fraudulent utterances, the fraud she perpetuated by indicating that she did have, and it's important to note because that the person whose affidavit we read at 2811 is very clear. I wouldn't have proceeded with this process knowing that, but it does not, given the discussions we had the other day.
Okay, then can I just follow on that? You're saying the fraud she perpetuated, that then speaks to General Madondo. What does General Kumalo have to do with that? Does the docket suggest he's part of that fraud as well?
The suggestion is he knew she had no clearance and that she had pending matters, which was the basis on which she could not be properly vetted and or transferred, which is supported by
But then,
3811.
to bring it into 7, he must have known of the fraud
He must have known.
because it's a fraud. So are you saying the docket suggests that General Kumalo knew of the fraud, was complicit in the fraud? Is that where the docket will land us?
That is what the allegation was, yes.
And there is a basis for that, I take it, in the docket.
That is correct.
Okay.
Should be there.
Chair, I see it's 1 o'clock. Might this be an appropriate time?
Yes, it is. Oh, sorry,
Chair,
sorry.
may I ask a question?
Yes.
I hope we finish today. I would really like us to finish today. You know, I'm not being disrespectful. I've been, my employment is terminated. I haven't been to the office yesterday or today to ensure that, you know, this is government. You know, the moment they tell you, they say, can you please just hand us your stuff and get out the door? And I haven't been able to get out the door. And so I'm hoping that even if we have to take a little longer, if we could be of a mind to finish today.
Ms. Silo,
Chair.
how long do you think will be this afternoon?
Oh, I thought the chair was going to ask me an easier question, which is whether we'll finish today, the answer to which would be a yes. I wouldn't commit to the time.
Yes.
Not too long, Chair. We should finish around our normal scheduled finish time or close thereabouts.
All right, all right. I would not be making an issue of it. It is just that Commissioner Baloy has a Judicial Service Commission engagement, but she will attempt to attend